Jerry held court and then was like, but I have more to say, so let's all reconvene, and then I'm going to say even more. How about Jerry Jones? We had time to prepare, we made changes, and we still came up short.
That means you're not that good.
Well, apparently. I was going to say, what went wrong for the Cowboys last night?
I mean, it's Dak Prescott, right, and his decision-making. Because, like I said, when the quarterback, you have a quarterback, and why he's the most important piece is because he has the ball. So he has the fate of his team in his hands more than anybody else on the team. And they're trying to make Dak what he's not. And that's an elite quarterback. He's a middle-of-the-road quarterback, Marcus Mariota is a much better quarterback with a higher ceiling than him. Right? Stronger arm, better decision-making, and more athletic. Dak Prescott, you look at that, he's trying to force the ball into double coverage, don't understand
it's
that
a terrible decision.
Right, and especially after them getting the turnovers and then not being able to capitalize on. They had an opportunity to go up 14-0, which makes that game totally different.
That was second down right there, right?
Second.
That was not like a game-winning situation where he's got to be able to throw it and everything.
He threw that like it was fourth down. Like, I've got to throw it somewhere. I can't take a sack. It's second down.
Yeah, and they doubled down, right? They doubled down. When you went out and you give up your first-round draft pick, you're doubling down saying that this team is ready to make a run right now. And they keep trying to put all the pieces around Dak Prescott. And he's not the type of quarterback that can elevate people around him. And you look at it when I was listening to Witten, and he was saying, well, back when they had Emmitt Smith and there was the big play action, when you got the best running back, the most physically pounding running back, when you got a guy down there that you got to make business decisions about, when you say, do I want to stand on these train tracks? Do I want to be embarrassed? You better come downhill as a linebacker. So that means play action is going to be heavy. That means you can affect safeties, move linebackers with play action, but you don't believe in Dak Prescott because he can't make the throws down the field accurately.
Right.
He doesn't take chances. And you can't win like that. So now you got to ask yourself in the offseason, how much money am I paying Dak Prescott? Are you married to him, or do you go out and look for one of these retreads if a Joe Flacco or somebody's available out there? Because you don't have a first-round draft pick, so now you can't even improve in that way.
The biggest problem in Dallas is how they're trying to evolve their offense. That offense is not effective. The model that they're trying to run, it doesn't exist in it. Jacksonville, they tried to run it too. We're going to play power football. They got a great offensive line, they think. We're going to overpower people. No, you can't do that. And what you talked about is them trying to think that Dak is an elite quarterback. Dak's not going to be an elite passer of the football, not at this point in his career. And that's my concern, is that this model, and even though Witten in the game, he talked about Emmitt Smith and them. Listen, there ain't no Emmitt Smiths in the NFL. All right, that Emmitt Smith, his first Cowboy game, Michael Irvin and him was sitting there in bed, and Michael Irvin asked him, man, how good you think you can be? And Emmitt Smith said, I'm going to be the greatest running back that ever. So, listen, there are people not born that think that way, all right? That was a special...
It's the all-time leading rusher in NFL history.
But let me tell you what...
Barry Sanders is the best back. Let's just end that discussion.
Fine, whatever.
But let me tell you about what they need to do. And you can't have a football team like they have now. All right, because Emmitt Smith, in those days, they threw the football, Jenna, to set up the run. They didn't come out try to overpower you. They set you up with Michael Irvin, Jay Novacek, and they had an elite all-time great in Troy Aikman. Dak Prescott is not that. So, to me, they're trying to play a style that I don't believe that the team can adapt to and or that Dak can be successful at.
And I'm old enough to remember the Dallas Cowboys are going to get Dak involved more in the running game. Yeah, that lasted a few weeks. RPOs, all that stuff. That was fun. Okay, 2 carries
That was last month.
That was last month. That wasn't last year. That was last month. I'm old enough to remember, we think we've got a dominant defense. You let the Titans go 11 of 14 on third downs. 3rd and 8, pick it up. 3rd and 9, pick it up. 3rd and 10, pick it up. And I'm old enough to remember Dak Prescott's biggest skill was taking care of the football. In the last 24 games, he has multiple turnovers in 10 of them. Jameis Winston, Deshaun Kaiser, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, the only quarterbacks to have 10 multi-turnover games in the last season and a half. So who are you? In the first quarter, it looked like exactly who we thought you would be at your best. A heavy dose of Zeke. Zeke had 10 for 75 in the first quarter as far as running and catching. The rest of the game, 11 for 37. You forced 2 turnovers in the first quarter. The rest of the game, none, and you commit one of your own. Like, who are you? Who are you as a football team? What do you do great as a football team?
Right?
Here's what I don't understand. Both of you, every single person that has sat in this chair, just about every analyst, most Dallas Cowboys fans have all come out here and said, hey, Dak Prescott, Nice guy, not the best quarterback, not the guy that's going to lead you forward, except for some reason Jerry Jones, who wants it so badly. Right, but it feels like he's, cutting off his nose to spite his face, which seems like what he's doing. I'll give up a first-round pick. I'll give you whatever you need to. I'll pay whoever you need to pay.
If you give up, Jerry Jones gave up his firstborn son for adoption because he had a new, better son.
That's exactly what he did with Tony Romo, yes.
No, that's my point. And when you do that, that new, better son better be the golden child.
Right.
You cannot give up Tony Romo, who could still be playing in the NFL in my eyes. Yep. Tony Romo
in
the new NFL
absolutely
would be as good as he'd ever been. And you give up on him. He wanted to keep playing. And you said, you're going to have to play somewhere else, man. Yep. You go do television. And credit to Tony, he's been great at television. Because of number 4. You can't then 2 years later be like, oh, I screwed that up. Yep. Tony, will you come back?
So what does it look like? You going to pay him?
He doubled down. And then if you pay him, you're really going to cripple your franchise, because now you got to address, are you going to pay DeMarcus Lawrence as well?
What about Zeke?
Right, exactly. So you put all this equity in this offensive line, but you don't have somebody that can really control the controls at a master level. He's a guy that at best I think is more like a Nick Foles. He's a guy that needs to be a system quarterback. You have to build around his strengths. You have to do a lot of the things that he did in college, and you have to simplify the offense where he's basically taking shots or you defining his reads for him.
I do believe that, but I'm not going to put all the blame on Dak. Because all day today, people supposed to be experts. They're going to be blaming him. They're going to be blaming. They don't play good complementary football. The defense was playing excellent earlier. Created those turnovers for them. They had to be able to get points. But watch the play action on the interception. We're going to blame Dak for not throwing the ball away. Watch the offensive line. That's play action. They're dropping back like it's a drop back. So they don't even sell the play action that would allow the defenders to come up. The sack where Dak got in problem, the defensive end got chipped by Zeke. The offensive lineman didn't think that he had to stay inside. He thought he was head up there to block him. So they are not complimenting each other. So as a team, I just don't believe it's fair to point out the quarterback, and because collectively as a team, they're not playing championship football. And you can see it. It's in the product. This is not a playoff team. As much as we talk about them, as much as we want them to be, you are what your record is. All right? And they are not a good football team. That's why they sit at 3-5.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.